a congressman making his own trip to Afghanistan.
But I do think that, his heart is in the right place.
But some are worried his heart may have led him right into danger.
Not only is he in danger, but more importantly, it puts a price on the heads of these Americans.
And that is where we begin at 6. Mullen attempting his own rescue plan in the Middle East.
News 4's Thomas Fleming following the story. Thomas, the congressman posting on social media that he's helping get Americans out of Afghanistan.
That's right. This comes just a week after 2 U.S. House members secretly flew to Kabul to witness the evacuation of Americans. And for Representative Markwayne Mullin, the Washington Post reports he asked the U.S. Embassy staff in Tajikistan to bring a huge amount of cash into the country in an effort to go to Afghanistan and rescue 5 American citizens.
According to that Washington Post report, Mullin told the embassy he planned to fly from Tbilisi in Georgia to Dushanbe, Tajikistan's capital. The Post writes, when embassy officials declined, he threatened U.S. Ambassador John Mark Pommersheim and embassy staff. And as of Tuesday evening, U.S. officials said they were unsure of where Mullin actually was. One State Department official saying, quote, to say this is extremely dangerous is a massive understatement. Former Oklahoma Governor David Walters agrees.
This puts American citizens at danger.
He says he understands the emotion of wanting to help, but Mullin's presence could have had a significant impact on foreign affairs.
Not only is he in danger, but more importantly, it puts a price on the heads of these Americans.
We've had 3 members of Congress now that have felt compelled to insert themselves into a foreign policy.
Former Congressman Steve Russell says Mullin's trip should open up a broader conversation about Congress's role in foreign negotiations.
Congress wants to have some oversight or knowledge of that. And that's why you have members of Congress from both parties that have inserted themselves into these situations to try to learn more.
But as someone who has served our country and has served with Representative Mullin, Russell giving insight into what may have caused Mullin to make the trip.
We oftentimes will lead with our heart, and there can be consequence, and there may be consequence with him. I do think that his heart is in the right place.
Former Secret Service agent and News 4 political commentator Todd Lamb knows Mullin personally and says his friend's expedition shows what differentiates Americans from others.
It's what Americans do. Americans sacrifice for others, and Americans sometimes step outside the bounds of maybe what they're asked to do or asked not to do to put others before themselves. And I think that's what we've seen Markwayne Mullin do.
State Department spokesman Ned Price was asked this afternoon during a D.C. press briefing about Mullin's unsanctioned trip. He said the department doesn't routinely comment on the travel of private citizens, but he added they've made it abundantly clear that travel to Afghanistan is not safe and something they don't recommend.